Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, it is 6:53. Time to get you ready to take on your Thursday here in the Morning Sprint. Mark Peterson has some wind and rain in the forecast. Robin Nance is following breaking news on the state of our economy this morning. But first, to Olivia Roberts with a back-to-school update for Spokane families.
School districts around Spokane County are getting the green light for a test run, bringing the youngest learners back to the classroom. Both Spokane Public Schools and the Central Valley School District say that could be a reality in just 2 weeks. Kindergartners in Spokane schools will be the first to return. They'll be back in the classroom on an alternating schedule starting October 7th. The district plans to do weekly checks to decide when first, second, and third graders can be phased in. For Central Valley schools, the main focus is on kindergarten students for now. They would start coming into class even sooner, as early as October 5th. And today we'll have a clearer idea of this plan. The district will hold a press conference at 11 this morning. We'll be sure to bring you the latest information that comes from that meeting.
The Mobius Discovery Center is emerging of the Children's Museum and the Mobius Science Center, and they have some kits, STEAM kits that you can get, some virtual programs going on, and a curriculum camp you can sign up for that they're doing while the actual center is temporarily closed under phase 2. Go to our website, kxly.com, to see all these ways that they're not only supporting students like yours, but also ways that they can provide some extra STEM education for you while you're at home.
And breaking news from the Labor Department this morning, we're learning another 870,000 people filed for unemployment last week. Today's report from the Labor Department shows an increase of 4,000 claims from the week before. It's higher than what experts predicted, but it's also the 4th week in a row that new jobless claims came in below that 1 million mark. We track these numbers every week, and while the labor market is showing signs of picking up, the pace at which it is improving has slowed. United Airlines will become the first U.S. airline to offer coronavirus testing for passengers. Starting October 15th, it'll offer testing for customers flying from San Francisco International Airport to airports in Hawaii. The airline will use a rapid 15-minute test at the airport prior to security screening. It will also offer a mail-in option to be completed in the days before departure. And President Trump will visit the Supreme Court today to pay his respects to the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Taking a live look outside the court, where Ginsburg will continue to lie in repose today before a private burial at Arlington National Cemetery next week.
All right, good morning. In our first alert weather, it has all been this low that continues to move through, and we're not done with it yet. It'll continue to move out of the region. So the 4 things you need to know, real simple. It is going to be a continuation of sun and clouds, gusty winds. Friday's going to be wet and windy, but warmer next week starting Sunday.
Overnight, protests in Louisville erupted into violence as demonstrators reacted to a grand jury's decision in the death of Breonna Taylor. 2 police officers were shot. They are now recovering in the hospital. And new this morning, police say nearly 100 people have been arrested in those protests, many for damaging businesses and jumping on city vehicles. Now, more marches and protests are planned across the country because of the Breonna Taylor news, including one right here in Spokane on Saturday. The protests and reaction to the decision turned violent closer to home as well. Police arresting 13 people in Seattle, where multiple officers were injured, including one struck with a baseball bat. In Portland, where protests haven't let up since the death of George Floyd back in May, police declared a riot, deploying tear gas and rubber bullets. One protester was even seen throwing a Molotov cocktail at police. And coming up on Good Morning America, Tiger King star Carole Baskin is being sued for defamation by the daughters of her former husband, who disappeared mysteriously more than 20 years ago. Now a new docuseries will be exploring new theories about the open case. GMA has the story.